Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cure CLCN6. I know it's been a while since we've spoken last, so I wanted to record this video to give you some updates of things that have been going on. I don't have any updates on the science front. The mouse model is still in the early stages, and I don't have anything to report at this time. But I did want to share with you some of the marketing and branding things that we've been doing, as well as a little bit of media coverage and an update on Paxton. And that is what this whole mission is about and this campaign is about Paxton. So that is where I'm going to start. Back on October 28th, we went to a neurology appointment. We have to go in every 3 months to meet with a neurologist. And at that appointment, I shared with her that Paxton has been having more seizures while he's awake. He always has seizures when he's sleeping. We have not been able to get those, under control, unfortunately. But when he has them when he's awake, they're kind of referred to as like breakthrough seizures because it's outside of what is expected for him. We talked about possibly increasing one of his medications because he still has a couple milliliters that he can go up. But she wanted to wait on that one because when I brought him in, he was feeling a little bit sick, and it was going to be hard to gauge were the side effects related to the illness, was related to the medication, and how effective that a medication adjustment might be if he was feeling sick. But they did make an adjustment on his vagus nerve stimulator. It was previously providing like an output every 5 minutes at a higher frequency. They have changed that to give an output every 3 minutes at a lower frequency. And I am pleased to report that since that has happened, we've actually seen some improvement in Paxton's energy levels, his ability to sit up. He is not drooling nearly as much. We used to have to change his shirt 3 or 4 times a day. We're looking at some days we don't even change his shirt because the drooling is so minimal. He's got more energy. He's kind of like stimming and rocking on the couch more. He's clapping his hands. His body feels like more like firm when I kind of like help him adjust or like I'm picking him up. He doesn't feel like as loose and as limp. He is actually starting to try to say some words and vowels again that he used to say because he had lost some of his speech. Now he still needs help with walking. I still have to give him that trunk support, when he's walking. But definitely an improvement in his motor planning and his awareness levels since they've made that adjustment to the vagus nerve stimulator. My theory on this, and I would have to talk to his neurologist about it at our appointment in January, is I'm wondering if prior to this adjustment on the vagus nerve stimulator, if Paxton was having a lot of what they call absence seizures, which is where he just kind of stares off, he just kind of goes blank and he might close his eyes, or he just kind of stares off. I wonder if he was just having a lot of those, that some we noticed, some we didn't notice, and that his brain was just never able to fully recover from like the chronic seizures he was having. I mean, who knows how many he was having if they're ones that we weren't even noticing. But whatever adjustment was made to that vagus nerve stimulator, which 3 minutes lower frequency compared to 5 minutes higher frequency, if it is controlling these absence seizures, and I'm just speculating, it's definitely made a difference. And it's really, really promising and encouraging to see because it's also going to allow me to be able to start engaging Paxton in more physical therapy and occupational therapy and speech therapy at home. Whereas really for the past year, we haven't been able to do too much of it just because his energy has not been there, his ability to hold himself upright. But we're seeing that, come back. We're seeing that return. And it really is encouraging to see. Also, because it probably leads to the fact that those challenges he was having is not related to neurodegeneration. Can't say for certain, but it looks really promising, and we're happy to see this and really happy to report it to you. Second thing, KCAL News, KCAL News Los Angeles, which is part of the CBS News Network, they came out a couple days before Halloween to our house. And they did a story on Paxton and our mission to build this gene therapy for him, and also that will benefit, other children. And it was an excellent story. I'm not sure if you have seen it yet because we did post it on our other social media channels, and I can't remember if I have shared that here on YouTube, but if not, consider this your update. They being KCAL, have a YouTube channel, KCAL, and you can find the story on there. I can't remember the exact name of the title, but it has a picture of Paxton as their thumbnail, and it says something along the lines of like Murrieta family raising funds to help their son's rare genetic mutation, something along those lines, and you should be able to find it. You could probably also go to CBS News, click on local news, Los Angeles, and it was under there. This is a couple weeks ago, not sure if it's still up, but you may be able to find it there as well. So KCAL News, KCAL YouTube channel, or CBS News under local news, Los Angeles. You should be able to see the story. Another thing, we being QRC LCN6 as a nonprofit organization, we have registered to sponsor a tree at the City of Murrieta's Festival of Trees on December 7th. So this is going to help us with branding and raising awareness of our campaign to not only raise the $3 million to develop the gene therapy for Paxton, but also that CLCN6 gene mutations exist, that other children are likely out there who have not been diagnosed yet, and that our mission, yes, right now is focused on getting Paxton this clinical trial and getting him the treatment, but it goes beyond that as well. We know that there's at least one other child out there who's impacted. Safe to believe that there are others. We want to help bring awareness so that those children can be identified, because this is a neurodegenerative mutation and time is critical. So these children need to be identified. That is something we want to be able to help with as well for them. So this event, the Festival of Trees, is going to have broad implications. It's going to help us raise awareness that Paxton is here in the community, and we're asking for support from our community with this fundraising, and also that these mutations exist. And so helping people understand what some of these symptoms might be and how they can go about getting a diagnosis. Okay, another thing that we've been doing for branding awareness is I've made up these shirts. And I'm gonna get them edited as well, and I'll explain that in a moment, but I've made these shirts. We got them made at Same Day T-Shirt Printing in Temecula. Same Day T-Shirt Printing in Temecula. So if you are local, please give them some support. They've been very helpful to us, and they even want to help us with some fundraising efforts. But it's got the picture of Paxton from the GoFundMe. I felt that the consistency in branding is critical. And it says, I have a neurodegenerative mutation. Help fund a life-saving gene therapy for me. Hashtag help save Paxton. Hashtag cure CLCN6. Hashtag Paxton's Pioneers. It is also on the back of the shirt. We wore these on Tuesday when we went to Disneyland. That trip was a birthday gift to Paxton and his sister Aria, because Paxton just turned 8 years old and Aria just turned 5 at the end of October. And I wanted to use it as an opportunity as well to raise awareness of our mission. And I feel that when you are at like an amusement park especially, you spend a lot of time staring at people's backs. So I want to put something on the front and the back. And I went with the hashtags help save Paxton, cure CLCN6. Because if you go to Google and you put in help save Paxton, the GoFundMe page for our campaign is the first thing that comes up. And if you put in cure CLCN6, our webpage, cureclcn6.org, is the first thing that comes up. So this way we're just kind of planting seeds. People may see it in passing and they may think, oh, what is this? I saw this kid. What is this? What's cure CLCN6? I've never heard of this. What's help save Paxton? And I want to change these shirts though, because right now it says I have a neurodegenerative mutation with a picture of Paxton. So it's pretty evident it's talking about him in the picture. But when we were at Disney, I thought, I want to change these so it says like my son. So that me and Kristen wear it. My grandson. So if grandparents are wearing it. My nephew. So if aunts and uncles are wearing it. So when people see you wearing it, they're going to understand the personal connection that the wearer has to Paxton. And I'll be going back to same-day t-shirt printing in Temecula to get that done. So at our Disney trip, we also have been using this laminated flyer, and I kind of use these poles to attach it to the wheelchair. But you can see it's double-sided, and it says, "Help save Paxton's life, a rare genetic battle," in red to draw attention to it. And then in the green, which indicates like an action, "Help fund a life-saving gene therapy for me." And it has the QR code for the GoFundMe, which does work. And then we also put in the CLCN6 gene mutation with our hashtags "Help Save Paxton" and "Cure CLCN6" that we just spoke about. Now, anytime we go out with Paxton with the wheelchair and we put that sign up, we get at least one person who comes up to us and makes a donation, whether they're giving us cash or they're scanning the GoFundMe. So if you are one of those people who has done that, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate your support and financial contributions to helping our son. I also wanted to share on our Disney trip, there were a few people who asked to scan the GoFundMe. They didn't make a donation yet, and I don't know if they're going to, but at least it was raising some awareness. We don't know people's personal situations, but it did make us feel good that people were at least asking, to scan it and saying that they wanted to help. We did also receive about $50 in cash donations as well from people that we saw at Disney. So overall, the branding thing was very, successful. And I wanted to share one last thing with the Disney trip. I've heard the expression from NORD, National Organization for Rare Disease. It says, "Rare is everywhere." And what it means is rare diseases individually can be very rare. Like a CLCN6 gene mutation is pretty rare. But when you look at rare diseases as an aggregate, meaning when you combine them all together, they're actually fairly common. And there was a woman there when we went on the carousel. It was the first ride that we went on. And she started talking to my wife, Kristen. And she said, I saw you guys like earlier with these shirts on. I've been meaning to talk to you. And she got our GoFundMe information. And she was telling us that her grandson, who is 3 years old, has a genetic mutation that is going to make him go blind by the time he is 12 years old. He too may need to undergo a gene therapy to prevent him from going blind. He's currently undergoing whole exome testing because the genetics team and the doctors suspect it's one of two mutations which is causing it, and they need to know which gene is mutated so that they can treat it. She is working with UCLA Medical Center, which is very top-notch, so hopefully her grandson is going to get the help and care that he needs. He's certainly in good hands at UCLA Medical Center. But I did tell her if that doesn't work out, I did let her know about the UMass Worcester team that we're working with. And it was just a reminder, you pass by people all the time, you have no idea what they're going through. She never would have known. She would have seen Paxton in a wheelchair, but he could be in a wheelchair for a variety of different reasons. She wouldn't have any clue that this boy has a rare genetic mutation that's neurodegenerative and that he's racing against the clock to develop a treatment. Just like her grandson is racing against the clock to get a treatment to prevent his loss of vision by the time he turns 12 years old. He's 3 years old now. So rare is everywhere. With that, I just want to end that. I'll end this video with our mission is clearly focused on CLCN6 gene mutations, but research in one area does rise the tides of progress in all areas. So our contributions, yes, it's going to help Paxton. Yes, it is going to lay a blueprint for other children with mutations on the CLCN6 gene. But it is also going to contribute to the overall field of cell and gene therapy, which is really critical because this is the medicine of the future. And there used to be a time where we would get bacterial infections and there was nothing that could be done. But the rise and the development of antibiotics has changed that. There used to be a time where things like polio and measles, you would catch them and the mortality rate could be pretty high. or you could suffer some really debilitating long-term consequences. But vaccines were developed, and now they're a thing of the past. Well, we're in the dawn of a new era of cell and gene therapy. And we're on the cutting edge, and we're bringing Paxton to the medicine instead of waiting for the medicine to catch up to us. So that is all that I have for today. I will check in with you probably in a couple weeks. We are going to meet with the UMass team on December 2nd, so hopefully I'll have some updates to share at that point. And we're going to be getting ready for our Festival of Trees as well on December 7th. So if you have some ideas for some ornaments and things we should do, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Until then, take care, and I look forward to speaking with you in the next video.